pretty much, watched the film, and we pretty much came up with 3 different game plans, and we figured one of them would work. And, nothing that he did or showed me in the ring surprised me.
What about what you were able to do? Were you surprised that you were able to do any certain things against him?
No, like I said, when we watch the tapes, we figured we'll be able to do certain things. And I won't say it surprised me because that was part of coming up with the other game plans. The first one we tried, we was like, Khan is kind of awkward with his feet, and we figured there would be some tripping going on, and I was going to try to box him first, but you see, one was called the knockdown, but it was 2 times when we actually tripped over each other in the first round. It was kind of awkward moments, and we figured if that happens, then we have to go to game plan number 2. So it didn't surprise me, but it was good to know that everything that we thought was going to happen in the fight actually happened.
What was game plan number 2?
Game plan number 2 was to move forward. Put pressure on him, make him back up. Kind of noticed that his offense is not the same going backwards. So that's where we just wanted to go and put pressure on him and get to his body and get him on the ropes.
What were the aspects of the fight that you thought that you won in this debate? I know what aspects I thought you won. But.
Right. It was simple. When we were inside close, I had my way. When we were outside, he did a better job at not getting hit and hitting me. But in the inside, he was basically no offense. So that's the way I wanted to keep it.
How soon did it take you to realize that those dynamics that I need to be inside?
After the first round. After lost the first round, he was credited with a knockdown. I knew I was down 2 points, and when we went over watching the tapes in training camp, we figured that can happen, with the trips. So it was I felt as though it was time to go to plan B. I kind of did it in the second round, but wasn't sure if I wanted to switch just yet. But towards the end of the second round, you see I was going forward and it was working for me. I was coming on, so at that point, mid-second round, I decided to just go all out, press, and see what happens for me.
Has your hunger increased or decreased since you become champion?
Increased. I love being the champ. The way people treat me and accept me as the champ makes me want to work that much harder in the gym and fight that much harder in the ring. They say it's something about being a champ, they're not the same fighter, and I truly believe that today because I just know, through all this, it's just giving me more motivation to keep winning and keep being the champ because, like I said, it's a great feeling and I love it, and I don't want it to end May 19th.
How hard is it to kind of harness that? I mean, they've talked a lot. They called you Cheaterson, things like that on Twitter. You're a classy guy. You always have been. I mean, you just throw that log on the fire?
No, I didn't really. I tried to when I hear things, from Khan or just from a fan, I try to deal with it right there instead of just letting it build up and say, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And then eventually it builds up and then you're really mad. So I try to deal with it right there at the time. Is there some truth to this? Yes, if there's some truth to it, deal with it. If it's not, then forget it. And a lot of that stuff that was being said had no substance to it. It didn't really make any sense if you really sit down and you look at it. So it didn't bother me at all. I try to figure things out and deal with it. And what I came up with that makes me feel better is that they wanted the rematch just that bad. They would pretty much say anything. But, they got the rematch now, so hopefully, all the talking can go away and they can just focus on May 19th and give the fans another great fight.
You gonna walk into the ring wearing a black hat?
Nah, no black hat for me. I'm just gonna go in there, relax and comfortable like I always do, and feeling confident that I'll win again.
Did you get to knock him out this time or hurt him? I mean, they say it's neutral territory in Vegas, but I mean they fight in Vegas a lot. Golden Boy's kind of a machine. Do you feel like you got to do more in this fight?
Nah, I feel as though I'll be okay. The last 3 years I maybe fought in Vegas 5 or 6 times. I'm comfortable and familiar with the staff there, the commission, So, you know, I feel comfortable. I don't feel as though I have to do anything extra. Just like I didn't feel as though I had to do anything extra in D.C. I just go in there and just try to win the fight, you know, regardless of what the outcome is. I can't control it. The only thing I can control is what I do in the ring. So that's what I'll focus on.
Awesome. Good luck to you, man.
What about the Olympic testing? Does that do anything different for you, or do you have to plan differently because of it?
No. I'm a clean fighter. Not saying that Khan is not a clean fighter, but it's a lot of fighters out here who have been caught cheating or are cheating now and getting away. And just, you know, it's already a rough sport. It don't need to be any rougher than what it is. We don't need, you know, one fighter in there in the ring with someone who's a machine that night. If you get what I'm saying. So you know, I think it's safer for the sport for us to do the doping, you know, blood testing, and so that's why I'm gonna do it. Not, like I said again, I'm not saying that Khan is cheating or anyone I have fought is cheating, but I just think overall for the sport, it's a good move.
What was it? Did it come from your camp to do the Olympic testing, or was it?
Yeah, it was based on just, you know, you know, just hearing about these other drugs that are out there that you can take that won't show up in your urine. And we take urine tests all day, but if we took urine tests because the natural the old steroids, you know, that's what we was testing for. But if they got new products that won't show up, then why not just take the blood test and make it mandatory? So that's all it was about, just making a stand and saying that as a fighter, you know, we need to pay attention to this, and the testing need to be done.
Why VADA and not USADA?
I really don't know what's the difference, but I heard that, you know, if anything, if you go buy something, you know, go buy some milk. You want the best product, and if that's the best product, that's what I've been hearing and the research that I've done. That seemed like the best one, so that's what we're gonna go with.
Awesome.
Should you win this fight, do you plan to clean up the division?
I would like to, you know, but this boxing, you never know where your career may go. You know, you might win and it might take you to the next level. Sometimes you win and you stay right there at the same level. But I would like to, you know, fight for the WBO and the WBC belts and have all 4 belts. Then eventually move on to 147 pounds because I'm not sure how long I'll be able to make 140 pounds.
Are you having difficulty making it?
No problems, but I just know that, you know, with age, each year I end up seeing up, you know, my max weight seem to tip up a few more pounds, and I know eventually it's going to come where as though I won't make it.
There was a possibility that you may have faced Marquez as a different option. What's the reason that you eventually decided to face Khan instead?
I decided to fight Khan instead of Marquez because, you know, that's what the fans want, and I was just solely on that. It was nothing else. It just is, you know, I had a choice to make. You know, both options were great. I felt comfortable with winning both of the fights. So, you know, I had nothing else to choose from but put it in the fans' hands. And to me, it just seemed like they wanted Khan Peterson too.
You felt like you had a little bit of unfinished business at the same time because of all the controversy and things
Not
like
really,
that?
because in my head and in my mind, I felt so wonderful. And that's, to me, that's all that matters to me. And I don't feel as though I have everything.
For this fight, are you going to be looking for the knockout?
It's always good to get the knockout, so yeah, I will, you know, look for the knockout at times. But I know my style, and I know, you know, I'm prepared to do the 12 rounds if I have to, because 50% of the time they do. So I'm going to prepare for the 12 rounds, and that would be my game plan. But if I see at any time I hurt him, of course I'm going for the kill.
How has DC taken like a step to get back as a champion?
Oh yeah, you know, it was good.